Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Sorry this is awkward. I hit the live stream button and didn't put it in my mic, so let's make this sound a little better. I'm better now. Want to talk about two comments that I just read, and they have to be addressed. They're comments from you. I commented on both comments, and I said I'm going to make a video about this right away. So if you are one of the people that I've chosen, my goal is to inspire you. As a matter of fact, and I'm not talking about the two people who left comments. My goal is to inspire every single person that watches this video. I want to get you to believe in more than you ever believed in yourself. I want to see your life transformed. I want to see you make money, save money, change other people's lives with money. That's really how it's done. And change everything about your dynamic. One comment is from a subscriber. One is from a non-subscriber. And the subscriber has his name in here, but I'm sure he's going to be okay with me sharing. I'm just going to flash the thing so you know I'm legitimately telling you the thing. Let's just dive in with the first one, okay? Because my goal is to get you to believe in yourself. And this is going to go along with this, actually, to be honest with you. The tomorrow's last day, 87% off of Investor Mortgage Pro. Here's the comment. It's from, here, see, look at this. It's a real comment right there. It's that big one right there. Actually, Ninja, I've been wondering why you think banks will survive to borrow from after this crash. The Fed is out of ammo. They will freeze the system to avoid recognizing collapse and then reset into a digital fiat debt slave system. This is a long comment, so I'm going to break this down. Let me answer this first off. Type 1 if you agree. If banks don't loan money, they will not make money. Type 1 if you agree with that. That is a fact. Banks survive by loaning you money or opening an account and charging you for either storing your money, because they charge you, even though you think maybe you're getting interest, they charge you fees and things like that. And then in loans, they charge you interest rate, they charge you fees in either points or miscellaneous fees too. So if the Federal Reserve freezes the system, because the Federal Reserve is a private bank owned by the largest banks in our nation and in Europe, they will cease to exist. Okay, that will never happen. Ever, 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 ever. Didn't happen in the Great Recession. It didn't happen during COVID. It didn't happen during the Great Depression. I'm addressing this because I hear this all of the time, and it's fantasy. Now, what banks do under guidance of not only the Federal Reserve, but the government, they tighten their lending standards. And who enforces that are underwriters. Okay? So what happens is, when during good times, they have a certain level of things that you've got to meet to get the loans. Then they actually, during going into a crash, when they want to have a blow off top, they get people into loans by easing their lending standards. I'll give you an example. Just recently in the last year, you've seen people say, banks go, you know what? If you're low income or you're in this certain parameter of really bad off borrower, you know, we're going to let you have a loan this time. We're going to not lower your rate, but we're going to get you in. We're going to do, buy now, pay later with a second position, things like that. We're going to lower your down payment. You know what? You don't need 3%. You need, 1% is going to be fine. We're going to figure out a way. The market figures out a way, because the banks, again, are only loosening these standards because they don't have anyone to loan to, and they're hurting, and their existence is going to fail. So they lower standards. And then when a crash happens, they tighten standards. Barely anybody can get into a loan unless you know how to play the game and you're ready for that, right? I'm sort of preaching not this course, but Mortgage Master, right? For basics, for people to learn how to do all this stuff. So what he just said right there is 100% false. All right, let's make that clear. All right, here we go. This is the next part. He says, why participate in all of that when instead, I don't know how to participate when you're saying that the banks are just going to shut down and not loan money. So I don't know how to participate in something that doesn't exist, okay? But why participate in that when instead you can just step away and be free with real wealth. It seems you want a foot in both sides. Waiting to feed off of renters in reward for your greater debt participation. So let me stop there. You can only make so much money in this world by saving. If you want to make lots of money, if you want to be a multimillionaire, you have to leverage money. That is the fact. There's nothing you can deny about that. You can only make so much wealth by paying your bills, working, and then saving a little bit of money. You can only get so much. When you leverage money the right way, the proper way, entities, all that kind of stuff, you now make this much money. To get the billionaire status, 90% of billionaires, you know how they got there? By taking companies public. Okay, so those are the 3 tiers of wealth. Now I can already see where this person is coming from because he uses the word feeding off of renters. I take serious offense to that. Now when I say offense, I'm not mad. It's because I'm going to set you right real quick here. I'm going to take a poll in front of everyone. If you are a good person and you buy a piece of real estate right, meaning you know exactly how much money you want to put into the deal, you find the deal and you know how much it's renting for, and that you are going to make a good rate of return or cash on that deal immediately out of the gate, would it not be amazing for you to go, just like I teach in my real estate cycles course, not to raise the person's rent? If your renter is a good renter taking care of your property and you are making a profit based on when you bought the deal, why would you raise their rent? I want to keep them in there because when you raise people's rents, eventually they leave. And then I have a vacancy for a month or 2 and I've got to deal with that. And if you look at the ratios of how much I just lost off the vacancy, it's not worth it. What's worth it is to be good to your tenant because they're good to you, not raise your rent, and then go move on and buy another property where your cash on cash is making you even more money. And then you go do it again and again. See, this is the difference between someone that has 1 rental and sucks as a landlord and somebody that's got 10 or 15 rentals that gets it. So if you like that kind of theory or way of thinking, methodology, type 2. Type 3 if you think that is not a good way. And you think that kind of methodology is what I teach is sucking off of renters, or what he said, feeding off of renters. See, a lot of people are going to be typing 2 because they understand that not only is that going to cause you to become a wealthier investor, but you're also going to be a kind landlord. You're going to be a good person, right? That's exactly what I want for this nation. I want you to go out and crush it, buy tons of rentals, be good human beings, and then eventually when you pay them off, I would like you to offer them to people to buy and charge them a fair rate of interest, a good rate of interest, and then you have now become your own official bank. Because of the way interest is front-loaded on a mortgage, you're getting 90% of that payment upfront in interest. You've now become a bank, and you're going to become wealthy very, very fast. And you're going to provide great interest rates to the people that buy your homes from you. Nobody's teaching this. And then if they want to go, you say in the documents, I get first right of refusal if you go to refinance. And they go, what do you mean? Well, because I'm giving you a fair rate, whatever the rates are, you were excited to get this house. If you find a better rate, let me know, get pre-approved and all that stuff, send it to me first. I'll beat it. I'll refinance your loan. Because you want to keep them in. Now it starts the debt cycle again, over. But again, you've done something amazing for them. Do you see what I'm saying? So you see how this is going to change people's lives? All right. So let's move back into this comment. Again, this is not a subscriber comment. I'm going to read the subscriber's comment, which is great, and it's going to help a lot of people in just a second. This person says, sure, it worked for you in 2008, but this is more serious, a more serious change coming. Gold is cheap and will be revalued higher. Well, you know that didn't happen during the Great Recession, but okay, let's see if it happens. Silver increases more. I prefer there not be debt slaves at all. Well, then in your world, you're never going to become wealthy, because to become wealthy, you must use someone else's money and leverage that and pay them a fair amount of interest. You don't get involved in those kind of debts unless you can repay that debt in the first place. And that's why banks must go through a process of qualifying you, because that's the law of the land, actually. And you'll just be a saver. Cool. Enjoy your silver and gold. But then what do you do with it? What do you, and this is the type of mindset of people that think that gold is going to $50,000 tomorrow, the dinar is going, to 3 times the dollar, and they're always going to be losing. Now, I want to read a comment from a subscriber, and then I've got some incredible stories to share with you, and I am actually in the middle of trying to interview some of you because of what's happening right now. The next comment, again, comes from a subscriber. This is Sean. Everyone say hi to Sean, all right? He says, your videos seem geared towards those who already have some success. It would be fantastic if you would just say something like, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, then worrying about buying a house is the last thing that you need to do. First, get out of debt and save some money. Well, you already told me what I should say, but that's not what I'm going to say, because that's not what I believe. And to answer you that is, and this comes from a poverty mindset, okay? When you're living paycheck to paycheck, 9 out of 10 times, actually, I guarantee you this, when you even use the term paycheck to paycheck, you're living in a house, you're not homeless. I know it sounds crazy. Type 10 if you agree with that. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're more than likely renting, or you own a house, you're purchasing a house, and you have some type of cost that goes along with living expenses. Wouldn't you agree? All right, people are typing 10, they agree with that. So this is what I teach. There is never a good time or a bad time to buy real estate. I know it sounds crazy. When it comes to your place of living, where you're gonna live. What is bad is how much you pay for a property and how much your payment is. And there's all kinds of things like fees and stuff like that associated with it. So let me give you an example of someone that somebody I know just emailed, and I hope to be able to have her on for a interview. A subscriber took the Mortgage Master course, and there's no sale on it. Just, this is a totally different course. This is for investors. Just took the course and wanted to buy a property, and watched some videos I did on USDA mortgages, how you can get in with zero down, why you'd want to put zero down in certain circumstances, and all this kind of stuff. If I have the story right, these are the bullet points. The person just purchased a property, zero down, paid 0 points, and got a 7.25 rate. Now hold on. Was able to drastically change their credit score in the middle of escrow to qualify for this loan. And if my memory serves me right, I'm guessing at the numbers, instead of having to come up with $15,000 to $18,000 depending on the loan product, was able to walk in with 0 and was able to afford a 30-year fixed payment instead of paying rent. How valuable is that to you? You see, you've got to get out of the poverty mindset and understand, I've got to live somewhere and I have X amount of living costs. This person that I'm giving you an example of that I can't wait to interview, I've not spoken with this person yet. I hope they're willing to come on the channel. Took a step back in life and purchased a place with 0 down and fixed a payment that I have a feeling, I hope I can get this information, is at or less than the current rent they're paying. How much is that worth to you? See, you got to get out of poverty mindset and start thinking bigger than this. This is epic. Most people are waiting for a crash that is going to come, but you're not set up to be able to go and get the money to go and take advantage of the crash. And your how many ounces of silver or gold ain't going to help you. You want to know why? More than likely, and I understand this based off of the average net worth of the followers of this channel and how much they have in those assets, will not pay cash for those properties. How do you like that? See, even at that point, you're going to and you will want to leverage money because there's actual protection behind leverage. I know it sounds crazy. I teach it. There's a lot of protection behind leverage. It comes at a cost, but that's cost of doing business. Just like when you bought an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver, there was a cost over the spot price of that metal. There's always a cost for doing business. So the question is, what do you want to do with that information that we just talked about? In 2005, when I purchased a home, I told my wife, we just liquidated like 13 of our properties because crash was inbound. And I said, we're going to buy this to live. And I bought a piece of property with a piece of land that I make money flipping things. So I flipped tractors, trailers, palm trees. I couldn't have done that in the current house we were in, right? So during the recession, I made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars flipping all these things, right? Taking items, buying items from people that didn't manage their money well and selling them to people that do manage their money well, right? I told my wife, I said, this place is going to fall by 50%, but I didn't care because I got into a 30-year fixed rate. And it did. It fell by 46%, peak to trough. But you know what's crazy? I sold it 14 years later, 12 years later, for an $80,000 profit. Because as I bought it at the top and it was already coming down, I held it until it was worth more on the next upswing. And during that time, I made hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I turned into millions because of cryptocurrency. Which, by the way, if you want to sign up in the newsletter, I'm sending out an email next Thursday night. I'm doing a live question and answer with a team of experts to answer all your questions about cryptocurrency. You can sign up for the newsletter and you'll get the email, the request, and it is limited to the amount of people that can sign up or attend because it's a webinar thing. I'm going to answer all your questions about that too. And so people need to get out of poverty mindset and understand you got to live somewhere. We got YouTubers out there just bleeding heart. YouTubers like, wait for the crash. I can't own. I'm waiting. I'm like, you don't even know probably the first thing about how you're going to get the money to do it when it happens. So what's that worth? I can't wait to interview this subscriber. I have 2 other subscribers that I've personally face-to-face helped that are students of mine. And one just saved, he's going to explain it, how the course showed him how to save $50,000 in a current home purchase. Another person is buying a home and saving money right now. And they understand that they're buying homes that are going down in value. I know it sounds crazy, huh? It sounds crazy. But there's a reason why they're doing it. You need to secure your living situation right now so you can think clearly, so that you can go buy a bunch of rentals and make generational wealth. And in doing so, you're not going to lord over your tenants. You're going to help people. And then when you figure out that when you're helping people, you're going to become more successful than you've ever thought possible. And you're going to be happier than you've ever dreamed of. I'm living it. I love being able to get you inspired and get you to go out and crush it. If you are right now or are putting together a plan to go crush it during this next crash, go ahead and type it right down below. Just type crush it. Because that's what this is all about. If you want to buy rentals, you want to learn how to finance it, there you go. The price will never be this price again. It's good for 2 more days. Please do not email me in the middle of the night, Monday night, or whatever time it stops. There's a countdown timer on it, and say I missed it. Please don't do that. It happens every time. But those are 2 comments I got, and I think they're very fitting. And my challenge to these other YouTubers are still there. If you would like to interview me, question what I've said in the past, let's go live and ask me anything you want. If you can find fault in anything I've ever talked about in over 3,000 videos in 3 years, those really are the stats. I think I'm at 3,200 videos in exactly 3 years. Let's do it. It's challenge the ninja, because I believe if I'm wrong or if I'm right, we're going to help a lot of people. We're going to inspire people. We're going to teach people, and it's going to be epic. You can ask me anything about what I've said about banking, about finance, about real estate, anything you want, and use my words against me. Remind people, go to the other YouTubers that are out there, doing things. Say, let's do it. Let's see what the ninjas got. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Be blessed. The Economic Ninja is out.